Have you ever felt like life was trying to get your attention? The same numbers keep showing up. The same words echo around you. The same moments feel too perfect to be random. Deep down, you sense it. Something greater is speaking to you. These patterns are not coincidence. They are messages. But what do they mean? Why are they showing up now? And why do they always appear when you're at a turning point in your life? In this video, we'll uncover the hidden truth behind the signs that surround you every day. Stay until the end, because the moment you finally understand what's happening, you'll never look at your life the same way again. You've been feeling it, haven't you? The way the world seems to place things directly in your path, almost as if they were tailored to you. You notice how certain numbers repeat themselves on clocks, on receipts, even on license plates. You catch phrases from strangers that echo the exact thoughts you were wrestling with in your own mind. And deep inside, you can't shake the sense that all of this is more than just a string of coincidences. You are not imagining it. You are being spoken to. The universe, God, or the divine force that holds creation together has been sending you signs. They are meant for you because you are different, because your journey is not ordinary. The signs around you are not coincidence. Think back to moments in your life where you were lost, where you were unsure of the next step. Out of nowhere, a message appeared. Perhaps a friend reached out when you needed it most. Perhaps a line in a book pierced through your confusion. Perhaps the timing of an event seemed too perfect to ignore. These are not accidents. They are threads woven into the larger tapestry of your existence. Reminders that you are on a path guided by a hand much greater than your own. When you begin to recognize this, you realize you've never been walking alone. The chosen ones rarely walk an easy road, but they always walk one filled with divine signals, carefully placed like stars in the night sky to remind them where home truly is. You may have doubted this before. You may have told yourself that these are random patterns your mind creates to make sense of chaos. But stop for a moment. Really ask yourself, why do these random patterns show up most when you are at a crossroads? Why do they repeat more loudly when you are about to make a decision that will change everything? It is because the signs are not trying to confuse you. They are trying to align you. You are being nudged toward clarity, toward direction, toward truth. You are not drifting. You are being steered. There's something inside you that knows this. That feeling in your chest when the hair on your arms rises, when chills run down your back without explanation. This is confirmation. It's the soul recognizing divine fingerprints. It's the inner compass of a chosen one, responding to the signals designed for them. The chosen ones have a sensitivity others do not understand. Where others only see coincidence, you sense purpose. Where others laugh at the idea of destiny, you are already living inside its current. That is why the signs keep appearing, louder, clearer, and closer than ever before. Look at the numbers. How many times have you seen 1111? How often has 222 or 444 appeared on your path? These are not mere digits. They are coded messages. They tell you to trust your alignment, to trust the journey, to trust yourself. The universe communicates through symbols because language is often too limited for the depth of what needs to be expressed. Numbers, patterns, and synchronicities cut through doubt like light through darkness. They remind you that energy cannot lie, that what you are experiencing is beyond chance. And it's not only numbers. It's the people you encounter. The stranger who speaks a word that feels tailor-made for your situation. The old friend who reappears just when you need their guidance. The opportunities that arrive at the exact moment you were ready to give up. All of these are signals that the universe has been orchestrating events on your behalf. Some of them arrive as blessings. Others arrive disguised as challenges. But if you look closely, you'll see that both carry the same purpose: to push you forward, to refine your spirit, to awaken your strength. There is also the voice within you, the quiet whisper you often ignore. That gentle urging that tells you to take a risk, to walk away, or to hold on just a little longer. It is not madness. It is guidance. It is your higher self aligned with the universe, pulling you into what was meant for you all along. The more you ignore it, the louder the external signs become, until they are impossible to overlook. This is why, lately, you have been noticing them more frequently. Because you are entering a season where you cannot afford to miss the cues anymore. The chosen ones are always prepared before they are elevated. And right now, preparation is happening in your life. The key is awareness. If you dismiss these moments as luck, you miss the power they carry. But when you acknowledge them, when you pause and recognize the hand of the divine in your everyday life, you unlock a new level of clarity. Suddenly, life stops feeling like a series of disconnected events. Instead, you begin to see the invisible thread that ties it all together. You recognize that the heartbreak that once crushed you was a sign redirecting you to someone better. You realize that the rejection that stung so deeply was actually protecting you from settling for less. You understand that the delays, the pauses, the waiting seasons were not punishments, but alignments, carefully positioning you for something greater than you asked for. If you are listening right now, if these words resonate with you, it's because you are not here by chance either. Even this moment is a sign. You were meant to find this message. Out of all the content in the world, you are here because something within you was drawn to this reminder. Nothing you are going through is wasted. Nothing is random. And nothing is coincidence. You are chosen. And because you are chosen, you must learn to recognize the signs that are guiding you. They are shaping you, stretching you, and awakening the version of yourself that is needed for the next chapter. So don't ignore it anymore. Don't shrug it off as luck or coincidence. The universe has been knocking on your door, showing you patterns, whispering truths, sending you confirmations in every direction. It's time to open your eyes. It's time to trust. And it's time to step fully into the realization that the signs around you are not coincidence. They are your compass, pointing you toward the destiny you were born to live. You may have questioned whether these signals were just tricks of your imagination, but deep inside you know there is something greater at work. Life doesn't line up this perfectly without intention. The moments you thought were accidents were actually signs written for your eyes only. They are invitations for you to believe, to step out of fear and into trust, to recognize that destiny has always been whispering to you. You've been chosen to notice what others dismiss, to sense what others ignore, and to understand what others cannot yet see. Before we continue deeper, let this moment be sacred. If you are here, if you are hearing these words, it's because you were meant to. This is your reminder to hold space for your truest desires. Write your most heartfelt wishes in the comments below, and beside them place the number 777. That number is not random. It represents alignment, divine blessing, and the fulfillment of promises. By writing it, you are not only declaring your intentions to the world, you are releasing energy into the universe that amplifies your wish. This is your act of faith, your way of saying, I believe. And while you do that, make sure to subscribe, because this space was built for you, for the chosen ones who believe in signs, who trust in timing, and who refuse to live blind to their purpose. Now, think about what happens when you actually dare to believe that signs are real. Suddenly, your life becomes more than just a routine. The patterns begin to reveal themselves with clarity. The way certain doors close is no longer rejection, it's redirection. The way you meet someone at the wrong time turns out to be exactly the right time. The way you find strength in places you didn't expect becomes proof that you were always equipped to handle more than you realized. When you believe, you see. And when you see, you are transformed. Have you noticed how the signs grow louder when you resist them? At first it's subtle. A dream you can't shake, a song that follows you everywhere, a symbol that keeps appearing. Then, as you continue to ignore it, the signals grow stronger. Life will rearrange itself to get your attention. The job you've outgrown will fall apart. The relationship not meant for you will dissolve. The comfort zone you cling to will suddenly feel unbearable. These are not punishments. They are the universe saying, you cannot stay here. You must grow. And while it hurts, while it confuses, while it feels unfair in the moment, it is proof that you are chosen for more. It is often in the lowest valleys that the brightest signs appear. When you are broken, when you are tired, when you have nothing left, a spark of hope always seems to reach you. Maybe it's a message from a stranger. Maybe it's a chance encounter. Maybe it's simply the feeling that someone unseen is carrying you. That spark is a sign. That is the universe refusing to let you quit, reminding you that even your darkest chapter is not the end of your story. And notice this, the signs don't just point you forward. They also reveal who you truly are. They awaken gifts you didn't know you had. They call out the courage that was buried under years of fear. They make you more aware of your strength, your resilience, and your potential. Every sign is a mirror, reflecting back the truth you've been too afraid to embrace. You were never ordinary. You were always destined for something more. The chosen ones are tested more deeply because their path requires greater preparation. That's why the signs in your life have been so persistent. They are not random. They are training. They are lessons disguised as patterns, preparing you for doors you cannot yet imagine. Every delay has been sharpening your patience. Every heartbreak has been teaching you depth. Every setback has been showing you how to rise. These are the building blocks of your destiny, and the universe has been showing you glimpses of where you are headed through these signals. When you finally stop resisting, when you say yes to the path and yes to the signs, everything changes. Suddenly, alignment replaces confusion. Peace replaces anxiety. Purpose replaces wandering. You stop asking, "Why me?" and start saying, "Thank you." Because you realize that even in the moments that hurt the most, the universe was not against you. It was shaping you. So let this moment sink in. You are not surrounded by coincidences. You are surrounded by confirmations. The numbers, the people, the opportunities, the delays, the whispers, each one is proof that your story is still being written, and it is far greater than you imagine. You are chosen. You are guided, and you are exactly where you need to be. The more you open your eyes to the signs, the more you begin to see how beautifully orchestrated your journey has always been. Think of the countless times something unexpected seemed to fall apart, only for something better to appear later. At first, you may have felt anger or disappointment, but eventually you realize those detours weren't setbacks at all. They were setups. They were carefully placed redirections designed to move you closer to your true purpose. When you understand this, you stop asking, "Why did this happen to me?" And you begin to ask, "What is this trying to teach me? Where is this leading me?" That shift in perspective is the difference between drifting aimlessly and living with clarity. Signs are not always loud or dramatic. Sometimes they come in whispers so soft that only a heart willing to listen can recognize them. A sudden peace when you choose one option over another. A gut feeling that refuses to quiet down. The dream that feels more real than waking life. These subtler forms of guidance are just as powerful as the obvious ones. The universe doesn't always shout, often it nudges. And if you are truly attentive, you begin to understand that nothing, absolutely nothing, has been coincidence. Even silence carries meaning, because silence forces you to listen inwardly, where the greatest truths are revealed. Have you ever wondered why certain memories replay in your mind long after events have passed? That is a sign too. Your soul lingers on what carries meaning. Those thoughts are not random. They are reminders pointing toward unresolved lessons or hidden treasures still waiting for you. The chosen ones are haunted not by accidents, but by significance. Every image, every replay, every thought is a breadcrumb, urging you to follow until the greater picture reveals itself. And notice how your body responds. The chills, the racing heartbeat, the sudden calm in the middle of chaos. Your body itself is a receiver of signs. The divine doesn't only speak through the outside world, it speaks through you. When you feel heaviness in certain places, it may be your spirit telling you this path isn't for you. When you feel light and free, that is confirmation you are aligned. Learning to interpret these inner responses is just as important as noticing the external synchronicities, because the signs are everywhere, outside, inside, around, and within you. The challenge is that many people ignore these signals. They rationalize them away. They call them chance, luck, or imagination. But you, the chosen one, cannot afford to ignore them anymore. They are the universe's language to you, and if you silence them, you silence your own guidance. Imagine driving a car without signs on the road. No arrows, no traffic lights, no warnings. It would lead to chaos. That is exactly what happens when you dismiss the signals in your own life. The road is still there, but without the guidance, you stumble in confusion. Paying attention doesn't just protect you, it leads you forward with wisdom and assurance. Look back at your own story. Remember the times you were held back from something you desperately wanted. At that moment, you felt pain, even betrayal. But looking back now, don't you see how it saved you? Don't you see how it pushed you towards something better? That was not coincidence. That was divine alignment. The closed doors into your life were not punishments. They were protection. The unanswered prayers weren't neglect. They were upgrades in disguise. Every delay has been saving you from something smaller so you can walk into something greater. The truth is, being chosen means you will not always get what you want, but you will always get what you need. And often, what you need is revealed through signs that only later make sense. It's like assembling a puzzle. You don't understand each piece by itself, but once they're all connected, you realize every single one was necessary. Life works the same way. And when you stop fighting the pieces and start trusting the process, the image of your destiny becomes clearer and more beautiful than you ever imagined. But to walk this path, you must cultivate patience. Signs do not always appear instantly. Sometimes, the universe allows silence to stretch because you are being prepared. Sometimes the lack of clarity itself is the sign. It means you are being called to strengthen your faith, to trust without seeing. This is one of the hardest lessons for the chosen ones, to walk confidently even when the signals are faint, because your faith itself is the bridge that carries you to the next sign. So understand this. The signs around you are not coincidence. They are the proof that life is not chaos, but choreography. They are reminders that you are not forgotten, not abandoned, not wandering without purpose. You are being guided step by step, and when you embrace this truth, the fear that once paralyzed you begins to dissolve. You realize that no matter how uncertain the road feels, you are being led exactly where you are meant to go. That is the power of being chosen. That is the beauty of trusting the signs. The path of a chosen one is rarely smooth, and that itself is a sign. If your life has been filled with challenges, it is not because you are cursed or forgotten, but because your spirit was designed to endure more than the average soul. The universe sharpens those it intends to elevate. Each difficulty is like fire shaping metal, turning it into something stronger, purer, and more unbreakable. And what accompanies this process? Signs, confirmations, glimpses of hope in the middle of trial. They come as reminders that the pain is not permanent, that the struggle has meaning, and that your story is unfolding exactly as it should. Think about how many times you wanted to quit. How many nights you lay awake wondering if you could make it one more day. And yet, just before you broke, a sign appeared. A phone call, a phrase, a dream, a feeling. It gave you the strength to keep going. That is not coincidence. It is proof that you are never abandoned. The chosen ones walk through fire, but they are never consumed by it. Instead, they emerge carrying wisdom, carrying scars that become stories, and carrying faith that cannot be shaken. The The signs are placed along the way so you know you are not lost. Notice also how your hardships have prepared you to recognize the signs more deeply than others. People who have lived without resistance often overlook the whispers of the universe. But you, your battles, your heartbreaks, your delays, have made you sensitive. You see details others ignore. You sense energy in rooms where others only see emptiness. That sensitivity is a gift. It is what allows you to walk through life with heightened awareness, tuned into the language of the divine. What others dismiss as coincidence, you recognize as alignment. That is why your journey has been difficult. It was the training ground for your perception. And yet, the greatest challenge for the chosen one is doubt. Doubt creeps in like a shadow, telling you that you are imagining things, that the signs don't mean anything, that your life is ordinary. But remember this, ordinary lives are not filled with extraordinary signals. The fact that you have noticed them at all sets you apart. Doubt will try to silence your intuition, but every time you pay attention to the signs, you silence doubt instead. You remind yourself that the patterns are too precise to be random, too consistent to be accidental, too personal to be meaningless. Look at how signs often arrive just before breakthroughs. The moments you were ready to give up, suddenly you were reminded to hold on just a little longer. That was not luck. It was preparation. The signs increase in frequency when your destiny is close, because the universe knows how tempting it is to quit just before the finish line. That is why you have been seeing more of them recently, because something is near, a shift, an opportunity, a moment that will validate the faith you've carried all this time. But you must remember, not all signs feel comfortable. Sometimes, the universe will send you disruptions as signals too. A door suddenly closes. A friendship falls apart. A plan unravels without warning. These are also signs. They are the universe's way of saying, this is not for you. You must move. If you cling to what was never meant to stay, you'll miss what is trying to enter. Letting go is not failure. It is alignment. Trusting these uncomfortable signs is one of the hardest tasks, but it is also one of the most rewarding. The chosen ones often carry the weight of being misunderstood. When you tell others about the signs you've noticed, some may laugh, dismiss, or even mock you. They cannot see what you see, because the signs are not for them. They are for you. Do not let their blindness steal your clarity. You were given this vision for a reason. You were called to notice because you are called to lead. And sometimes, leadership means walking a path that others cannot yet recognize. Trust your discernment. The signs are yours, not theirs. And as you continue walking, pay attention to repetition. The universe rarely sends a sign just once. If something appears again and again, it is because you are meant to listen. Repeated numbers, recurring dreams, repeated conversations, all of these are confirmations. The repetition is meant to pierce through your hesitation. If you've been asking for clarity, chances are the answer has already been given to you, multiple times, in multiple ways. Your job is not to wait for a louder signal, but to respond to the one that has already been delivered. So here is the truth. Nothing in your life has been random. Not the people you've met, not the places you've been, not the hardships you've endured. Each of them has been a sign, woven into the fabric of your destiny. And now, more than ever, you are being called to trust that the signs around you are not coincidence. They are the compass of your soul, pointing you toward the life you were born to live. Every chosen one eventually reaches a point where the signs become impossible to ignore. It's as if the universe turns up the volume, placing confirmation after confirmation in your path until you finally pause and say, "This is real." That awakening moment is powerful. It shifts the way you walk through life. Suddenly, the pain that once broke you begins to make sense. The delays that once frustrated you become clear in purpose. And the victories, no matter how small, shine brighter because you realize they were not just random blessings, they were divine confirmations. But here's the truth. The universe doesn't send signs to entertain you. It sends them to instruct you. Too often, people want signs to reassure them, but not to change them. Yet every sign is a call to action. It says, pay attention, adjust your path, or prepare yourself. If you ignore the lesson, the signs will keep repeating until you finally learn. This is why you keep seeing the same numbers, hearing the same words, meeting the same type of people. It's not because life is stuck. It's because you are being guided toward transformation, and the universe will not stop until you evolve. Think about it this way. A teacher doesn't give up on a student just because they don't understand the lesson the first time. The teacher repeats, rephrases, tests again. The universe works the same way with you. If you keep missing the point, it will send the same signals in louder ways. That uncomfortable pattern in your life is not punishment. It is guidance. It's the same lesson arriving in different forms until you finally recognize it. And when you do, the pattern breaks, the weight lifts, and you step into a new season. Many of you listening right now are in the middle of this cycle. You keep asking, why does this keep happening to me? When the better question is, what am I meant to learn from this? Because the moment you shift from frustration to curiosity, the meaning reveals itself. And when meaning is revealed, the signs stop feeling like interruptions and start feeling like invitations. Invitations to step into alignment, to step into growth, and to step into purpose. And purpose is always at the center of the signs. The universe doesn't waste energy. It doesn't decorate your life with random coincidences just to amuse you. Each signal carries weight because it is tied to who you are becoming. That repeating number is tied to your growth. That closed door is tied to your protection. That sudden meeting is tied to your destiny. When you start connecting these dots, you realize you are walking inside a masterpiece too vast to fully grasp, but too precise to deny. Do not underestimate how powerful it is to believe this. When you trust the signs, your energy changes. Fear no longer controls you. You stop clinging to things that are clearly leaving your life. You stop chasing after people who are clearly not meant to stay. You stop doubting whether your path has meaning, because you know, with certainty, that you are being guided. And in that certainty, peace arrives. You no longer beg for clarity. You begin to expect it. You no longer fear the unknown. You begin to trust it. That trust is what sets chosen ones apart. Of course, trust doesn't erase difficulty. Being chosen does not mean being spared from pain. It means your pain is never wasted. The heartbreak that nearly shattered you? It carved out space in your soul for deeper love. The failure that embarrassed you? It taught you humility and resilience. The loss that left you grieving? It made you compassionate in ways you never thought possible. These weren't coincidences either. They were carefully chosen lessons, carried into your life as signs of your preparation for greater responsibility. And this is why you cannot give up now. You are too close. The very fact that the signs are multiplying in your life is proof that you are standing on the edge of a new season. You are about to step into opportunities you once thought were out of reach. But to receive them, you must keep paying attention. You must listen more than you doubt. You must trust more than you fear. Because the signs are clear. The universe is preparing you, aligning you, and positioning you for something greater. So don't ignore them anymore. Don't shrink back into old habits or silence your intuition. The signs around you are confirmations that you are not walking in circles. You are walking in spirals, rising higher with every step. Each signal is evidence that you are not stuck. You are being lifted. And when the moment finally comes for everything to make sense, you will look back and realize it was never coincidence. It was guidance, every step of the way. And now, as we come to the end of this journey together, take a deep breath and reflect on what you've realized. Every moment that felt random, every coincidence that caught your eye, every delay, every whisper, every encounter, none of it was meaningless. You were being guided the entire time. The universe has been speaking to you through symbols, through numbers, through people, and through your very own intuition. What seemed ordinary was extraordinary all along. You may not have every answer yet, but that is the beauty of faith. Faith allows you to walk forward even when the path is not fully lit. The chosen ones are never promised an easy road, but they are promised that the signs will always be there, like lanterns showing the way in the dark.